A budget-friendly way to get the hottest Christmas decor accessory this year. You can make yourself a set of 3 beautiful gold bells in a big size for about 35 bucks. They're one of 2 decor dupes that will, I don't know, make your day. Maybe Michelle Bauer has figured out the process and she comes our way to share. It's great to see you. Happy holidays.
Yes, thanks for having me.
You're bringing the festivity and you're bringing some creative thriftiness because bells came into vogue, I think, last year strong, and we're continuing to see them this year. What is the style and the look we want with this project?
So for this look, I was kind of going for modern and upscale.
Okay.
So as you can see here, I added some really large bells here.
Yes.
And I love them because I feel like they would belong in an antique store or a vintage home or something like that. Also, the velvet ribbon adds a lot of detail and gives a little bit of panache and upscale.
It does. And the size, you're right, the generous size brings them into that upscale frame, and the touches with the ribbon and the jute. Very high-end, very boutique. Give me a cost comparison, Michelle, for the dupe.
Oh my gosh. So I found the bells. I think they were a set of 3 for about $26.
Are these plastic? Oh,
no,
metal.
they're metal, yes. Pottery Barn, I got my inspiration from them. They were about $150 for a set of 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're slicing that, a good chunk.
Yes.
Amazing. Amazing. All right, so tell me how you've used them here in kind of a centerpiece grouping, right?
Okay, so yeah, so when I do a centerpiece in my home, I like to add items that are larger in scale. So when you're looking across the room, you can really identify what you're looking at. So I have the tree is a really good example of that. It's larger in scale, but it's not so big that it's going to be obstructing your view or something like that.
Draws the eye, but doesn't totally distract.
Yeah.
And the tree's the second dupe, right?
Yep, it's the second dupe.
That you pulled off. Let's start with the bells. Tell us how you did this.
Okay, so I bought the set of 3, and this is what they look like.
And did you say
beforehand. You can get them at Target or Amazon. I bought them at a little boutique here in Salt Lake.
Okay, but cheapies.
Cheapies, yeah. Set of 3 for like 26 bucks. And have you heard of Rub and Buff?
Rub and Buff. We've reached for this a couple of times over the years. The name always cracks me up.
So yeah, this stuff is really fun. You can give a metallic finish to metal or wood or plastic. I even tried it on glass and it was fabulous.
It takes a glass. I love that it says what it is. Rub and Buff.
Yeah.
I mean, just do it.
The more you buff it, the shinier it gets.
Oh, really? Okay, okay.
So what you want to do, I always put a glove on because I don't want it on my nice fingernails.
On your cute manicure, which I spotted too.
That's right. So you want a cotton cloth. I just ripped up an old t-shirt.
Okay.
Try to use something with not too much texture because it'll leave that texture on your project.
Okay.
So just get a little dabble.
Texture of the cloth, you mean? You want the cloth to be smooth. Okay.
Yeah, the cloth should be smooth. So we get a little bit of dabble on your cloth.
And what's the consistency? Like paint or putty or somewhere in between?
It's really thick. More like a putty.
A putty, okay.
Yeah, not as runny as a paint. And all you do, it's really simple, just basically just rub it in.
You rub and buff.
You rub and buff, and it gets shiny.
I love when products deliver on the promise.
Yes, and I love this because after it dries, you can layer it and make it darker if you want to, or if you want to leave it as is and have some of the color underneath show through, it's perfect.
For more of an antique feel. And it did stick to even glass. I mean,
I primed it first, but it stuck to glass.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many coats did you need to accomplish that look?
I did 2 coats, but a little goes a long way. I used a very minimal amount of my little tube.
Okay, so that tube is little. That was my other question, is how many tubes will I need? But 1 tube will do it.
1 tube will do it, and you'll have a lot left over.
Okay, and where does this live in your home, this grouping?
So I have it in my living room on my coffee table.
It's so lovely. What a fun focal point.
Yeah.
All right, the tree. How did you create this tree?
Okay, so this tree, you got to hit the Dollar Tree this winter. Basically, I picked up 2 of these trees.
Okay. I
gave them a little fluff. And then what we're going to do for this project.
These are the tacky, too green to be green dollar store trees.
They totally are. And we're going to cover up that tacky color.
Okay.
Because it's not cute. So what we're going to do is we're going to attach them together so it's taller and fuller.
Now that's clever.
So we did this. And you don't need to worry about this little knobby thing on the back because once we spray it with the flocking, you won't even see it.
I've looked at the finished up close and did not even notice there were 2 trees at work there. That's so clever, Michelle.
You won't. So what you do is you just line them up and you grab, I used about 3 zip ties and just attached them in 3 different spots.
Okay.
And then with the little knobby thing here, I put a little bit of hot glue around there just so it wouldn't wiggle and slide and so my tree would stay straight.
Okay, okay.
So
You
after
figured
that,
it all out for us.
Totally. So after that, I grabbed my spray flocking.
Handy dandy.
Yep.
Flock in a can.
Gave it a little spray. And then you have to add your velvet ribbon because that's really popular this year.
I love the simplicity of
Yes.
that velvet.
Really what finishes this off though is using a really pretty pot.
Okay, for the base.
So something with a lot of earth tones,
Yeah.
some texture, and
Yeah.
it'll give you that feel of buying it from upscale store.
Yeah, it's those details that take it from everyday to upscale.
Yeah, for sure. So what I did with this is, you can tell it's not gonna stand very easily in here. So basically what I did is I put my tree inside here.
Okay.
And then I took some scrap paper.
Yeah.
And just kind of wadded it up.
And tucked it in.
Tucked it in there. And then took some of the branches at the bottom and kind of tucked those in too so you won't see the paper.
Oh, the resistance will be kind of a stabilizer too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michelle,
you have to
I
decorate it.
love it. I love it. 2 dollar store and, you know, Target store thrifts, or dupes rather, that will create an upscale centerpiece for your holiday home. Thank you. How can we follow along and see more of your projects?
Follow me on Instagram @_thepinklemon.
The Pink Lemon. We'll link you over from our website. Merry Christmas.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for the ideas.